Today we will be comparing fractions. So we're comparing fractions using less than, greater than, or equals symbols. And there are three major possibilities. The first possibility is that the denominators are equal. And that happens in numbers 19 and 20. And when your denominators are equal, we truly are just comparing the numerators. So in number 19, both have a denominator of 3. In the numerators, 2 is larger than 1. So because 2 is larger than 1, 2/3 is larger than 1/3. In number 20, both denominators are 4. In the numerators, we have 1 and 3. 1 is less than 3, so 1/4 is less than 3/4. So if the denominators are the same, easy peasy, compare the numerators normally. In numbers 21 and 22, you'll notice the numerators are the same, but the denominators are different. So now what happens? We have 1/3 being compared to 1/8. Well, in this instance, your thinking needs to be reversed. What I mean by that is, if you normally compare 3 and 8, you would say 3 is less than 8. But since we're comparing them as denominators, we have to reverse our thinking. When the numerator is the same, the smaller denominator is actually going to give you the greater value. Okay? And I will illustrate this quickly. So let me cut a circle into 3 parts and a circle into 8 parts. And you get 1 part from each. Which wedge gives you much more? The one where you're getting 1/3. So now knowing that, in number 22, where the numerators are both 3, the smaller denominator gives us the bigger portion of the pie. So 3/4 is the bigger number, which means 3/5 is less than 3/4. And again, you can visualize that if you need to. You got a pie cut into 5 and a pie cut into 4. You get 1, 2, 3 wedges of this guy, and you get 1, 2, 3 wedges of that guy. You're getting more with 3/4. Last possibility, nothing agrees. Ew, so what are we going to do? We're going to make them agree. And by them, I mean the denominators. So in 23, our denominators are 6 and 9. And my question to you is, what's the least common multiple of 6 and 9? What is the smallest number that we can turn both 6 and 9 into? And the answer to that is 18. 6 can be multiplied by 2 to become 18. Sorry, not 2, 3. I'm thinking of 9 for a second, I don't know why. 9 can be multiplied by 2 to become 18. Knowing that, we can say, okay, well, if I do 1/6 and I multiply both the top and the bottom by 3, I will get 3/18. If I have 5/9 and I multiply both the top and the bottom by 2, I will get 10/18. Converting fractions, basically unsimplifying. And this is something you should know how to do anyway, because you've been taught how to add and subtract with fractions in the past, and this was absolutely something you've done. Unsimplifying into a common denominator will make comparing the fractions so much easier. So we're comparing the fractions now 3/18 and 10/18. Obviously, 10 is bigger than 3. Now, here's a detail. We don't want to write that as the final answer. We want to use the original fractions. So we want to say 1/6 is less than 5/9. And number 24. Smallest denominator I can get 5 and 8 to agree on is 40. You're not going to do any better than that. So how does 5 become 40? We multiply it by 8. So whatever we have to do to the denominator to make it our least common denominator, we do to the numerator. 4 times 8, of course, is 32, so we have 32/40. And our 5/8, how does 8 become 40? It needs multiplied by 5. So we'll do that to our 5 as well. 5 times 5 is 25/40. We can clearly see our first fraction is larger. 32 is more than 25. That means 4/5 is greater than 5/8. I invite you to pause and try numbers 25 and 26. In number 25, we have 2/5, we have 5/12. The smallest number 5 and 12 can agree to become is 60. To turn 5 into 60, we have to multiply it by 12. That will get us 24/60. To turn 12 into 60, we must multiply it by 5. That will get us 25/60. We can see our first fraction is ever so slightly smaller than our second. So 2/5 is less than 5/12. And finally, we have 2/3 and 3/5 in number 26. 3 and 5 can agree to become 15. 3 will do it when you multiply by 5, getting us 10/15. And 5 can do it when you multiply by 3, getting us 9/15. We can see our first fraction is ever so slightly bigger than our second. So 2/3 is greater than 3/5.